Yo, what's going on, Exclusive Thoughts fam? It's Troy Spry, a certified life and relationship coach, speaker, and author of the book. Y'all know the book, Teaching You How to Love While What You Don't Know Will Hurt You. If you don't have a copy, go get a copy. I want to drop a quick Teaching You How to Love Chronicles on you today. So I put up a post the other day referencing the fact that there's a huge difference between being single and being available, right? So understand this. There are a lot of people out here who are single, but they aren't necessarily available. They are just in love with the idea of love, with the idea of dating, with the idea of being in a relationship. And I hear all the time people get into these situations with people where they aren't emotionally available, or they aren't really ready to commit or ready to settle down, or whatever it might be. So here's what I want to give you. I want to give you 5 ways, right? 5 ways to identify if someone is just single versus available. All right. So there are a lot of people out here who are single but not available. So let's jump into it. Understand this. First and foremost, there is a difference between being single, right, and being ready to love. Those are 2 different things, right? Single versus being ready to love. I also understand this, that healing is not just about venting, right? Healing is bigger than venting. So to have really healed from something, from your past or whatever it might be, right? You have had to go through a process. It takes accountability. It takes self-reflection. And most of all, it takes learning new ways to behave within dating or within relationships. So understand those 2 concepts before I give you my 5 reasons, right? Understand those 2 things. I'm not 5 reasons, but 5 ways to identify if someone is single versus available. All right. So here's the first way we're going to identify if someone is just single versus available. All right. First things first. Number 1, do they consistently continue to bring up their ex, right? If they're consistently bringing up their ex and what they've been through with their ex and what their ex has done to them, they probably aren't available yet. They are probably still attached in some way. They are still hurting in some way. They still haven't quite healed from it. So if they consistently bring up their ex, they're probably single but not quite available yet. All right. Number 2, they are very selfish in their behaviors, right? Everything is about them. Everything is done on their terms all the time, right? If you're selfish, you're not ready to love. You're not ready to date. You're not ready to be in a relationship, right? You might be single, but you aren't quite available yet. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, they're very controlling, right? So understand this. Sometimes controlling behavior is a way of protecting ourselves against vulnerabilities, right? And you aren't truly available if you aren't ready to be vulnerable, if you're not ready to be open. So if someone's very controlling all the time in their behaviors, they probably aren't available yet. They probably aren't ready to love. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, they are defensive about everything. Everything is about an attack on them, right? Everything you say, any kind of criticism, any kind of feedback, any kind of, everything comes back to them being defensive to everything you say. They probably aren't available yet. They probably aren't ready. They still got some healing to do, right? So that's number 4. Number 5, if they still blame their past relationships for their present lack of commitment, they probably aren't available yet. They probably aren't ready to love yet, right? So understand that. If they still blame their past hurts, their past relationships for a lack of present commitment, then they probably aren't available yet. They aren't ready to love. And you know what? All these 5 things I just gave you, they're okay. It's just not fair to put someone on that emotional roller coaster with you if you aren't truly available. So it's one thing to be single. It's another thing to be available, right? So if you are one of these people, right, who are consistently doing those 5 things, you've got some healing to do. You've got some learning to do, and that's okay. All right, just go get that healing done, and don't just vent. Actually heal so that you are now available and not just single. All right, y'all, appreciate it. Hey, go get the book, Teaching You How to Love While What You Don't Know Will Hurt You. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. It's blessed a lot of lives, and I want you to get you a copy. All right, and I want you to share this video. Somebody needs to hear this because they are single, but they aren't necessarily available. And you know what? They might just need to be by themselves for a little bit. So appreciate all the support out there. Share the video. Go get the book. Appreciate y'all. Hey, and let me know in the comments what y'all think about the video. Appreciate it. Peace.